Welcome. This is Pastor Keith again. I want to welcome you to our show for Progressive Movement Towards Christ Church. And I'm here to give a sermon on working wisely or work wisely. And I'm going to be coming out of Colossians, Psalms, Proverbs, several books in the Bible, but I just want to let you know that if you work, if you get a paycheck, you need to work. Now, you can reach us on Google Plus, iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com, iCloud.com, YouTube, and any other venue you listen to. And again, this is Pastor Keith with Progressive Towards Christ Church. And let's get on with the sermon today. And I want to welcome you and welcome all of you, family and friends, and whoever's listening right now. And I'm talking about work wisely. That means if you're there, do the job. If you're there, do the job. Now, I'm going to start out with Colossians 3:23, and it says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for the human masters. When you work for the Lord. When you do anything, you're doing it for the Lord. So when you work, think of God. Think of Him. Think that He's watching, not your supervisor. I'm going to tell you something. I've told a lot of I worked for various companies. I told a lot of employees that the way to make your day go faster is to work. And I tell them that I don't pay you not to work. I pay you to work. And that's just me being honest with them. So if you don't do your job, then you need to look elsewhere. You need to go someplace where you're more comfortable, where you're more at ease, where you can work, in the environment you want to work in. And, we work for the Lord and not our human masters. We don't have human masters. We only have the Lord who controls us, who gives us that life, who renews our spirits, who does everything for us. So I just want to let you know, don't sit there and clock watch, because clock watching doesn't help when you're trying to make it through your day. Do your work diligently, and if you work hard and you are successful, then you would move up with the company, and that's the bottom line. Move up, make more, move up, make more. I'm not telling you to love money, but I'm just telling you that you work 40 hours a week, and if you move up within a company and you make more, you're still working 40 hours a week. So wouldn't you rather make more for 40 hours a week than less for 40 hours a week? That's just me being honest, and that's what life is. And in Psalms 90:17, it says, may the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. Make sure that our hands are working all the time. If you're sitting in front of a computer, if you're moving boxes, if you're flipping burgers, whatever you're doing, do it well. And work hard and establish your work. The better you get at it, the more work you can do, and the more you feel better, because when you get that paycheck at the end of the week, you feel happy because you work for it. In the Bible it says an honest day work for an honest day pay. And I believe that wholeheartedly, that you must work for your money, and it must be an honest work. Not one where you hide 50% of the time and work 50% of the time. It's not where you work for the first 3 hours, finish your work, and then sit there for the next 5. That's not the way it goes. Move forward. Move on. Do something else. Ask the manager if he needs something else done, because managers like that. I've been a manager of several stores, and I like it when an employee finishes a task. And that employee comes up to me and says, Mr. DeMonson, can I do something else for the company to elevate the company? And I say, of course you can, because there's always work to be done. But in Philippians 4:13, it reads, I can do all things through Him who gives me strength. So God will give you strength to work through anything you need to do for your company. Now, in Proverbs 13:4, it says, a sluggard's appetite is never fulfilled. Sluggards. That means, somebody who who works like a slug, and his appetite is never filled. But the desires of the diligent are fully satisfied, because in your mind you're satisfied that you came in and you did the best job you could do, and you worked every minute you were there to receive that paycheck at the end of the week. Because I understand that people work and all they want is that paycheck at the end of the week. Make your week go faster. Work diligent, work hard. And in Proverbs 12:24, it reads, diligent hands will rule, but laziness ends in forced labor. Now you're starting a company, say a landscape company, they automatically put you digging holes. What do you do for 8 hours? You dig holes. And you don't want to do that for the rest of your life. You want to move up and be a supervisor and tell people what to do also, and work. There's no position where you can only supervise. There's always hands-on labor that you have to work at. You know, I work for Target Corporation, and I had people coming in with degrees, and because Target at that time was screaming, if you have a degree, we'll pay you well. Well, they paid them well, and when they came in and they said to me, Keith, I didn't know there was so much work involved. I thought I was just going to come in here and tell people what to do, and I go, that's not all about business. That's not all about work. You have to put some work in. No matter what title you have to do some work. You know, even the regional vice president of a company does work. He works more than 40 hours a week. I had a manager who was only supposed to put 50 hours a week as the manager of the store, but this man was there every morning at 6 to 6, and he worked Monday through Saturday, and he didn't have to, but he enjoyed what he was doing, and he ran the number one store in the company, which I fortunately worked for him, and he liked it. He liked keeping his store on top, the number one Target in the nation. That's what he wanted, and that's why he worked all those hours, because he wanted to continue and be vigilant and work hard and bring profit to the company. Of course, he profited too. In Proverbs 14:23, it says, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. If you stand around and talk all day, it will probably lead you to poverty, because your supervisor will see you and will demote you or take your job away from you, and you'll be standing in line at the employment office trying to find a job. So you would... You know, that sweet paycheck you were getting, that money you were getting is not coming in anymore. And that's why you must work hard and not talk. Just work hard. In Genesis 2:3, it says, then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So, you know, I'm not telling you to work 7 days a week and go in on your own time and work hard and do what you have to do. Well, honest days work for honest day pay means you work and you get paid the hours you are there. So you know, rest a day or two. But when you're at work, your rest is over. It's time to work. It's time to do your job. In 1 Timothy 5:8, it says, anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith, and even worse than an unbeliever. If you believe in God, but you don't help your immediate family, if you don't provide, if you don't take care of your family. I've known several males in-laws in my family, even one of my family members, who refused to work. They let their wife make the dollars, go out and work every day, work those long hours to support the household. There was nothing wrong with these guys, but they were lazy. They thought that they look around, somebody would help them if one of the bills becomes due, or the house payment becomes due, the car payment becomes due, the household, anything comes due, that one of the other relatives would jump in and say, I help you for the kids. And that's what me and my family members who actually worked did for quite a while. to help support our immediate family and so on and so forth. And sooner or later, it was time to stop as we were we were giving them that open court that they come in and ask, hey, Dad, hey, this, hey, that, I need some money to pay my bill. They're going to shut off my electricity. And okay, I will, but next time I won't. But next time was next month, and it came, and I did. So, it's they have to learn. And so I don't mean go out and just hand your paycheck over to anybody that asks, because you need to pay your bills. You need to live. Your wife needs to live. Your husband needs to live. Your kids need to have clothing, health care, and everything else you need for the house, the car, the water, electricity, the gas. Pay that first. And then take that discretionary capital and help your family and friends. Do not just give away your money and not be able to pay for your bills. And in Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. So God wanted us to have a future, so God has plans for us. And we just have to live by his purpose, live by his plans, and we will succeed. We will prosper, and no harm will come to us, and we will have hope in the future because we're following God's guidelines. We're following the word. We're walking down that narrow path. So that's what we need to do. Now, in Proverbs 6:10-12, it says, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcely like an armed man, a troublemaker and a villain who goes about with a corrupt mouth. Now, you can sleep at night. You can get that 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever you sleep, and still go to work. But oversleeping, I have people that I've heard, they may go to work, but they sleep until it's time to go to work. They come home, they sleep till it's time to go to work. It's like, hey, what about food for your family? What about going shopping? What about taking them to appointments, dinners appointments, and all that? You need to do that. You need to provide for your family, not just money, but you need to do what you have to do. Take them to their soccer practice, take them to the baseball practice, take them to the football practice. That's what being a good provider is, and also a good parent. So you have to do things like that to be prosperous, to be diligent. Now, in 2 Timothy 2:6, this is important. It says the hard-working farmer should be the first to receive a share of the crops. It is his farm, and he worked. He didn't just tell the people what to do. He worked from sun up to sundown. So he should receive the first of his crops and then hand down the rest of his crops to the people that work for him, because he provides for them by having that farm and by paying them a paycheck weekly, biweekly, or whatever it is. So the farmer should be first to receive a share of the crops. Now, Genesis 2:15 says, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work and take care of it. So we were brought to this earth to take care of the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, to take care of it, to do what they have to do to keep the plants alive, keep the animals alive. And that's not the only reason why God brought us on this earth, but we need to understand that we have to do this in the Lord's name. Now in Titus 2:7-8, it says, in everything set them an example by doing what is good. In your teaching, show integrity, seriousness, and a soundness of speech that cannot be condemned, so that those who oppose you may be ashamed, because they have nothing bad to say about us. If you're talking the truth, then there's nothing they can say. And I always say that when you talk in the truth, when you walk in the light, when you go to a yard sale, to a store, whatever, when you talk, people should understand that you're committed to the Lord just by what you're saying and how you're saying it, not coming out and just saying, I'm a pastor. I don't walk up to everybody and say I'm a pastor. But I have people question me and say, hey, do you work in the church? Are you a pastor? Are you this? Are you that? Because they hear it in my voice. They hear me say hello and how you doing and how was your day, and I bless you, have a good day. Then they will admonish me and tell me you're a good man. Now I'm going to talk about this last one in Proverbs 16:3. It says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. So commit to the Lord in whatever you do, working, playing, whatever, skydiving, whatever you do, camping, whatever you do, commit to the Lord first, and then do what you do. And he will establish your plans. He will establish your purpose. He will provide for you. He will help you no matter what you need for your health, for your spirit, for your mind, whatever's necessary, God will give you. And thank you for listening today. And I was happy to bring this sermon to you today, Working Wise, because I have worked in several positions, management and whatever, and I understand that if the employee doesn't think I can do their job, then they think that they can get away with stuff because, hey, I can't do it and I'm supposed to be their supervisor. That's why I understood that I had to work diligently all day and learn my task as well as their task so I can be equal to them in how fast they did their task, how they did their task, and hey, I did that because that's what I had to do to get that respect. Respect is earned, it's not given because you're their supervisor. It is earned. And this is Pastor Keith with Progressive Movement Towards Christ, and we'd like you to visit us at www.movementtowards.christ.com. That's www.movementtowards.christ.com. That's our website. You can hear us on Google Plus, Yahoo, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker.com, SoundCloud.com, and the other venue that you listen to. We will be on, and we will be live, and we will be with you. In God's holy name, I'm going to say bye. And thank you for listening.